I'm about to walk on stage into a room of 7 and 8 figure founders. We're at the ROI Millionaire Summit. Less than 20 years ago, I was Googling how to start a business, how to make money. And now I have the honor and privilege to speak to people on how they might be able to do the same. Join me for an inside sneak peek and look, let's go. Do you want the tea? Okay, so Rachel Rodgers has a podcast, and for a time having a guest host by the name of Nathan Barry. Nathan is a CEO of ConvertKit. They went on a podcast tour in LA, and I wanted to get to know Rachel and Nathan. So I bought tickets, and I sat, I think like in the second row. JD and I was like, JD, you better be the first people in line. I want to make sure that they see my face because I want to introduce myself. After the event, they had this like meet the podcast host. I ran upstairs. I immediately introduced myself to Rachel, immediately introduced myself to Nathan. We connected online after, and she hosts this event. And so when she extended an invite, I was like, heck yes. I am not quite certain, but I really suspect that this event is different than other events because Rachel has a tendency to attract a really diverse crowd. My good, strong guess is there will be disproportionate amount of Black and Latino founders at this event that are more in representation than any other. And normally at all of the events that I speak, people of color are like 1% to 2% of attendees. How important it is to fall in and network with people who have events if that's what you want to start doing. Like show up for them when there's nothing in it for you. And it's like going out of your way to connect with them online. So I was DMing Rachel. I went to her event. I followed up with Rachel. And so I think it's important for people who are very serious about wanting to get into speak is to connect with the founders and the organizers personally, care for them, connect with them, and then you'll have a great opportunity to get asked to speak. This morning, I posted a reel that starts in 2015. And I put it together yesterday in commemoration of like documenting 2015 to 2025. And the whole point of it was just a level of consistency. And so it's important for me to document these events because if the goal is to grow a brand and speak on stages of 10,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 people, it starts with rooms that are smaller. And not that this room is small, but I started off speaking to rooms where like 4 people were in it, and then 40, and then 400. And to speak in a room of 1,000, those are the documents that will lead to more. I was asked specifically to talk about how to turn subscribers into sales. So followers into customers. This is things that I've been speaking out for the last decade. And I think it's important for this group because these are very successful business owners. It is focused on millionaires. And so to speak in them in the same way, I would speak to somebody who's just getting started. Because the crazy thing is like business owners who have like a really good business, but they are not marketing themselves online in the way that they should, have this really big opportunity. But it's the same opportunity for somebody who's just getting started at marketing their business. And so the core of the message, and this was the thing I got up early this morning. Like I think it was like, I don't know, 4:30 or 5, and I practiced the keynote. And there's a part of me that towards the end of it is stuff that I've already spoken about. And I'm like, Jasmine, are these people going to be tired of hearing the same thing? And I was like, wait a minute. I have to say this because if I had said it and people did it, you wouldn't have to repeat it. Irregardless of the size of business, people need to market their business online. And I'm like, you got to say what you got to say. And it hasn't changed over the last decade. And part of me, second guesses it. And part of me is like very proud. My message has been the same. Consistency has been the same. And so today I get to show up and speak to same message, but like a little bit sabor, something a little different to a higher end or a more advanced entrepreneur. Okay, when it comes to coming up with like a keynote message, I used to say, brainstorm like the top 3 questions that you're asked. But now it's never been easier. Like it's never been easier. Go online, do an Instagram story, do a Facebook story, post something on LinkedIn, ask questions of people and see what kind of feedback that you're getting. When you start getting feedback around a question, go live and start testing your content live. Start seeing what people are interested in. You'll see it in the beginning, it's going to be like one person's going to show up to your live. It's just like there's never been a better time for people to test their content in advance in a way that has never been possible. So, ask questions, test it on stories, test it live, and then find a way to create long-form content around that. We're at the Hyatt Huntington Beach for the ROI Millionaire Summit. I'm going to be meeting Tori Dunlap. We decided just to get together and chat for like 30 minutes before I go and do my mic check. So I'm just waiting in the lobby for her. We thought we might be able to walk on the beach. I'm not sure because the beach is across the street, but we'll see. I'm asking if she wants coffee. I would love coffee, but I'm not going to get it if she doesn't drink it. Good morning. So I'm going to be changing. I just got back from a walk with Tori. We talked about business. We talked about joint ventures. We talked about growth strategy podcast. We did it all really quick. I'm going to change. I have a call in about 8 minutes to be in there to review my slides, go through my mic. So I'm going to change view of that. I have 4 minutes before I'm expected to meet my point of contact. I practiced this morning. I feel good. They wanted me to go through the slides here at the event. I understand why. I don't need it, but I'll oblige. I'll be ready to go. So I kick off the session, which is cool, which feels good. Y'all, we are finally getting coffee. It's just like, I have waited about, 4 long hours to do a black coffee. I'm very excited. So you hear the whoops and hollerings. The event got started a few minutes late, so I have some downtime. I have about 20 minutes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to resist the temptation to look through my keynote, go through my notes. No, I went through this morning. I have it in my mind. I'm going to focus on breathing, calming my nerves. I know, you drink coffee, nerves. Listen, let me do me. Okay, we all have our vices. I'm going to focus on the main point, and the main point is to cast a vision of somebody's future, because the reason they're here is to learn what's going to get subscribers into sales. But I can't do that unless I remind people of the past and of their present, and then point a picture to the future. So that's the goal. That's going to be my focus, that every person in that rank, they don't need to like me. They might not even trust me, but will they take just one thing that will change their life or their business? That's always my main focus. I keep a focus on them and not on me. Just got home. There is a mess behind me. I know I should pick it up, but I'm not going to because it's a vlog and it is literally my real life. I walked in, I dumped my things on the counter, and I always like to take a little bit of time to reflect on what the day was. And so I always think about the unexpected benefits of speaking. I am a professional speaker. I was paid to speak at this amazing event. I learned a lot about what was there, who I am, how I serve. But there was also 3 really cool things that happened in addition. So before the event, I met with Tori Dunlap. She's also another speaker at the event. And we had the opportunity to do a quick walk on the beach. It was like 30 minutes. We spoke about business. We spoke about how we might be able to help each other. We talked about collaboration. We talked about what's working for a podcast, what's working for content. It was really great. And then right before I walked on stage, one of the social curator members, her name is Samantha. She's been with us for years. She's very active in the community. She sent me an Instagram direct message. She lives in Brazil. And she was like, hey, I came out for the event. Can I say hi to you? So we met in the hallway right before I went on stage. I was able to chat with her, give her a hug, just thank her in person after years of us communicating solely inside of the social curator community. And then at the end, I was able to connect with Haley. Now, she is head of experiences at Kit. Kit and I have created collaborations in the past, and it was really good for us to meet, connect in person, and she also puts on events. So it's a really great way for her to be in the room, watch me as a speaker, and hopefully keep me in mind for future Kit events. So all those things were like added blessings on the day. So let's talk about just like unexpected things. Unexpected things was the event got started late, and so I did not walk on the stage until 51 minutes after I was supposed to walk on stage. So there was a lot of downtime that energetically I wasn't expecting. I actually like getting up and going on stage, and you're using that momentum, that adrenaline to kind of jump off and engage an audience. And so we were running late, And the speaker performing was very cerebral. She was beautiful. She was talking about like scaling Everest. It was very inspirational, but it was very low key. And my style of presentation is higher energy. And so I found myself having to take a step back and do things that would keep me up and going. So I'm like hitting my arms and I'm hitting my legs. I'm just getting some movement in my body. And then immediately they call me on stage, and it was like a flip that I had to train myself to embody the energy that might not be existing in a room. So I asked people to stand up. I asked people to move their bodies, not because I'm asking and like, I love dancing. It's literally scientific. You get the blood moving, oxygen goes to our brain, people are more engaged. So I use it as an opportunity to shift the energy of a room. And then a strong speaker will shift the energy of the room, hold all of the energy in, and push it back all to the audience. It has taken me years to understand how to do that, and that only comes in reps. And I'm really, really, really thankful it happened. But now I feel exhausted, like completely and totally, because the pattern for me is adrenaline, energy, talk to people, vibe for the rest of the day. Well, this was a shift because it was energy, adrenaline, calm down, 51 minutes of waiting, getting on stage, flipping a switch, manufacturing energy, holding it, pushing it back, and then driving home. And now I'm like, oh my God, I got a whole work day left. And so I'm just gonna take some time. I am going to enjoy a green tea. I am gonna have a healthy lunch, and then I'm gonna buckle up and I'm gonna work until 5:30 because that's my commitment. Or something else unexpected. Normally, there is a clock in the room, or there's a clock on the confidence monitor in the front. I had a 60-minute keynote. I was commissioned for a 60-minute keynote. I take those things very seriously. I practice according to the length of the keynote. In fact, my presentation today was 67 slides, which means if I'm averaging about a minute a slide, it would be the length of the keynote. So I was told there was gonna be a timer, and there wasn't a timer, but no problem. I'm like, you know your cadence, just stick with the cadence. I got off stage, I came home, and then I was talking with my videographer, and I said, I think that my session was shorter than I had anticipated. Well, we went through some of the video footage, and she was like, Jasmine, I think that your 60-minute keynote was actually like 45 minutes, and that does not make it go good. And so what I did is I went to the person who was handling my speaking event, and I said, listen, I don't think I went the full 60 minutes. If they're coming to me and they're like, Jasmine didn't hit the 60 minutes, like, please understand that I want to preemptively offer them like a 10-minute video to their community, or 10-minute videos to people who came to the event. I want to make sure that I'm honoring the contract. I did to the best of my ability. I went through faster than I had anticipated. So I think it's on me to fulfill on the contract. So I just wanted to get ahead of it. If there's one thing that I want you getting out of this is like what we see online. Like, I am posting on social media stories, me on stage, we're posting people there. And that shows about 1% of all of the behind the scenes that it takes to get there. And, you know, when I talk about the speaking events that didn't go well, when I talk about speaking events where people didn't show up, when I talk about speaking events where I'm driving, 4 hours just to speak for like 30 minutes, I kind of just want to make sure that there's like a fuller picture. Social media has a way to show just like the shiniest bits of it. And I want to have a piece of content that gives you access behind the scenes, shows what is normalized, how long it's actually taken for me to stand up on a stage and be able to do this. It's been like 15 or 16 years in the making. And if somebody watches this video and learns more, gets there quicker, gets twice the results in half the time, then I know I will have done my job. I just want to leave it better for people who want to speak and pursue their business. This vlog was all intended to give you a behind the scenes look, but if you're really serious about becoming a better speaker, a better speaker as an entrepreneur, a better speaker to your team, a better speaker to your investors, a better speaker as a keynote giver on a stage, whatever it is, I'm going to be creating a full breakdown on how I create my keynotes, tips for creating presentations, and tips for becoming a better speaker. Be sure that you are subscribed on YouTube because I'm going to drop that early August. So keep your eyes peeled.